7:15 in the morning show. The man accused in the Colorado movie theater shooting makes his second appearance in court today. James Holmes is expected to face formal charges. Joining us to consider the case is Michael Coyne, criminal defense attorney and professor at the Massachusetts School of Law, and Dr. Robert Kinscherff, director of the forensic psychology program at the Massachusetts School of Professional Psychology. Welcome to you both. Let's start with you. The charges, it wasn't even just a kind of a formal proceeding last week. What charges are likely to occur today? Because they've talked about whether or not they're going to pursue the death penalty or not based on consultation with some of the victims' families, et cetera. How do you think it's going to stack up?
Today he'll be arraigned. He will face a number of the first-degree murder charges. He will also face some of the attempted murder charges. There won't be a decision, I don't believe, today with respect to the death penalty. That'll come later. The next big step in the process will be to determine whether he's competent to stand trial and assist with his defense.
And that brings us to you, Dr. Kinscherff. This week, the defense already filed some documents suggesting that the subject here, Mr. Holmes, had been consultation with a psychiatrist on the campus at the University of Colorado, and that she had been called up before the review board in Colorado. What do you think of that?
I don't know what the details are of her having been brought before the medical board in Colorado. My understanding is that it was as a result of misuse of prescription privileges. Probably what's most relevant in this case is that she is a psychiatrist. She's the head of the Student Health Services, and I'm assuming that she was involved in the case, at least in part, because she may have been prescribing for him for a pretty significant mental illness.
Michael, in most states in the country, it's incumbent upon the defense to prove if there is some instability, insanity, incompetency. But in Colorado, as in Massachusetts, it's up to the state to prove that.
Yes, once he has raised the issue of the insanity defense and put forward any evidence of that, the burden will stay with the government to show beyond a reasonable doubt that he had the requisite mental state to commit the act, and that includes that he was not insane at the time.
All right, so Dr. Kinscherff, how does this burden of proof get executed?
The burden of proof would be executed first by him raising the issue, then the state, as Michael points out, has the burden that he will have an opportunity to present his own expert testimony and the behavioral evidence around the crime in order to at least raise the issue for proceeding.
Do both sides have a stake in this? Do both sides get to have an opportunity to take a look closely at the suspect?
Oh, sure, and he will raise the insanity defense. There's almost no doubt about that, because it's not a straight beyond a reasonable doubt case. He was caught in the act. His only defense is likely to be insanity. He will hire a top-notch expert, maybe someone from Mass General Hospital's Law and Psychiatry program like my colleague here, or someone from Stanford, hopefully with unimpeachable credentials and a background, so that that expert will be able to weigh into the jury. But the government will have its chance as well to determine what his mental state was at the time of the killings.
Dr. Kinscherff, the fact that he was under some sort of treatment, whether it's with drugs or not, any kind of counseling, does that begin to lay something like a groundwork for the possibility that it was this lapse from the treatment that caused him to be temporarily insane?
Well, it's hard to know without a clear history of what he looked like through his high school years into his college years. He seems to have run into some sort of trouble towards the end of this year, was withdrawing from school at a time that he was under psychiatric care. It's too early to speculate about what that trail might mean, but pretty clearly I agree with Michael that the behavioral evidence and forensic evidence against him as a suspect is overwhelming, so I think the place where the defense is going to have to focus is on his mental status at the time of the crime.
All right, Dr. Kinscherff, Michael Coyne, thanks for joining us today on The Morning Show. Appreciate it.